Hey, happy Wednesday, everybody. Brian Simmons here with eXp Realty, uh, June 9th. I'm going to go on a little bit of a rant here in a second. So I just want to give you a warning about that. That's coming. But before we do that, we're going to tell you the current market conditions over the last 7 days. We have 512 active single-family residential listings, which is about the same as last week, give or take a few. 125 new listings hit the market between the two counties in the last 7 days, which is the exact same as last week. So good to see some stability there with new listings. 35 of those went pending or closed, which was actually pretty low. I was surprised by this. Typically, we've been kind of the mid to upper 40s, and so that was definitely a little lower than what I thought. So going to keep an eye on that going forward. And 139 total went pending in the last 7 days. So pretty stable, really, in the market. So my rant. I think there's some confusion out there among people on what the average or the median home price is in our area here. And so I've seen that on social media and stuff, and I just want to make sure that we're clear on that, what everybody knows is actually going on in the market. Because it seems like in this industry, there's a lot of uh, bad info out there, whether no matter where it comes from. It's out there, and so I want to set the record straight, give you the real data from the Southern Oregon MLS, Rogue Valley Association of Realtors, whatever the official party that should be providing this information to you. Anyways, so what we're seeing in median price, which is if you took all of the sales for a period, a month, and you put them in a line, you pick the middle value, that's the median, right? Not the average. So median and average are different, remember. So what we look at with that is you separate it into different segments. So you look at either the primary segments, or existing homes, new homes, or rural homes. And so existing homes makes up about 75% of the transactions. So it's the overwhelming majority. So let's just look at that one, and for simplicity here. So the median price of an existing home in Jackson County right now, as of the end of May, is $380,000. Okay, that's up from 305,000 this time last year, which is a 25% increase, which is wild, but it's true. So, and in Josephine County, it's 330 right now, 330,000, which is up from 275, which is a 20% gain, which is also wild. So if you're hearing anything different about those numbers, just know that they may be referencing rural, they may be referencing new homes, or they may just be completely wrong altogether. Um, but anyways, 25% is fantastic. That is a huge return for homeowners. If you bought a home in the last year, you should be ecstatic about that. That is awesome. For the people who are saying, "Oh my gosh, like that $380,000 house isn't worth 380. I'm going to wait for a correction. I think it's only worth 300." They're kind of putting themselves in a bit of a dilemma, because that $380,000 house, for it to actually be listed at 300, you're talking about a 20% correction. 20% is not a correction. 20% is a huge, that's like a recession. 2008, that whole, crash that we experienced, the housing market crash, that was only 33% from all the data that I can see. All right. So if you're wanting a 20% correction, uh, especially when there's nothing to indicate that that's even a possibility right now, or that that's even on the horizon, it's unlikely. Okay. Um, so if you want to see that happen, like you might be waiting a while. All right. What's more likely in my mind is to see the prices go up another 25%. And whether that happens in a year again, or a couple years, or whatever, it's that's what I see happening. Um, but what do I know? um, so if you saw another 25%, that 380 goes to 475. And then if you're wanting it to still go back down to the 300, you're talking about a recession that is bigger even than what we saw previously in 2008. So keep that in mind. All right. Think about what you're projecting or what you're implying by saying, I'm going to wait till prices come back down to whatever that magic number is that you have in your mind. Try to take emotion out of it. Try to think objectively about it. What makes you think that prices are going to come down to that level other than the fantasy of you wanting them come back down to that level? I mean, is there any actual real indication to you that makes you think that those prices are going to come down? And if there is, tell me. I mean, I would love to know it because I look at this stuff every day. I just want to know from people like what is it that makes you think that other than wanting it? I want fuel prices to be under $1. That'd be great. But the reality is it's not going to happen. It's probably going to be $5 before it's $1 or even $2. But yet, here we are. Everybody's still driving because it sure beats walking, right? So I don't know. Keep that all in mind. I just wanted to, make sure everybody's clear on what those numbers are, and just kind of talk about that I'm waiting for a correction talk. What I hear a lot, I do, and you're not wrong for thinking that, but I just say try to think objectively about it because at the end of the day, renting is putting your money in the trash essentially, and buying at least if you bought now and we saw another 25% gain. Where else are you going to get that type of return? Where else would you have got that type of return last year if you bought in May versus this May? So anyways, happy Wednesday. Have a great one. If you have any questions about this type of stuff, if you want to talk about it, you can call me. I'm always happy to chat. You can comment on this post. Whatever you'd like to do, totally happy to engage and have a conversation with you. So have a great Wednesday. We will see you next week.